like a Hellcat.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and before we start the video I'd like to remind you that anything and everything that you see in this particular video is subjected to change once the actual update goes live next week. So because all the characters, the uniforms, the bonuses including the stats might change as per the discretion of Netmarble Gaming, because this is just the beta APK for the Star Creator Club members. So please do keep that in mind. Now that being out of the way guys, okay, so we have two new characters, okay. One of them is Scarlet Spider and other one being Michael Morbius, right? So let's check out these two characters, okay, and how to obtain them, right? So the first character is none other than our boy Peter Parker's clone, baby boy. It's Scarlet Spider after Ben Riley, right? So let's see. Oopsie doopsie. So when was the last time we got a free character, guys? Because I guess last update we never received it, right? So guys, Scarlet Spider is a free character in the sense he is a biometric selector character, right? So you can acquire him through your Shadowland biometrics. Yay! That's awesome. So let's quickly check out his gears. Here's what are the stats, right? Physical attack speed, so that's good. Premium. Physical defense, crowd control, nah, I don't like crowd control as the main stat. Dodge and critical damage is okay. And the last one is ignore defense and recovery rate. Ignore defense is fine, but recovery rate is like nah, nobody needs it. I don't know, especially what does the spider needs. So let's check out his tier 2 ability, okay. It has got Assault of the Spider Army. So it applies to all allies with spider sense, okay. Increase damage dealt to superhero type characters by 35%. Increase damage dealt to supervillain type characters by 40%, and increase skill damage by 25% and bonus damage by 20%. Like wow, means he is the free version of Abomination, guys, okay. So we paid crystals for Abomination for, and he's a support character for the Hulk, whereas Scarlet Spider, he is a free biometric selector character and he is a support character for all the characters with spider sense. It means all the spiders in this game, right? So let's check out his other skill. Well, the tier 2 itself is worth it. Means the tier 2 itself makes him a premium character, but we are lucky enough to get him for free. Good job, Netmarble. So first skill, 1 second of web, that's fine. Second skill, again web. Third skill, wow, so it has a counter attack, so that's really good. So it has stun, silence again a premium skill, guys. Increase guaranteed dodge rate by 30%. He has some guard hit, increase damage by 60% for one attack, and accumulation based on damage dealt to the enemy. So premium skills, guys. Premium skills. Unfortunately the accumulation is only 0.6% instead of 1%, right? And the fourth skill, okay, it has stun and web, and it has all defense down, which stacks up to 50%, right? And it does applies on wall boss. Okay? Some of the premium characters, okay, the paywall characters, their defense down doesn't apply on wall boss, and surprisingly for a free character, Netmarble is being so damn generous that his defense down does applies on wall bosses, and he also has a heal, right? I don't really remember any other spider having heal except for Arknight, but he's not really a spider. He's a mixture of Moon Knight and Spider-Man, right? And his fifth skill, the infamous tank skill, okay, it removes active burst from the target. Again a meta skill which is but Previously, whenever we used to skills like burn and all, we used to be, nah, why burn now? Wow, burn is great, bring it on, baby. And apart from that, he gets quite a decent buff of 25% of all attack and all defense and 25% critical rate for 10 seconds with a cooldown of only 8.5 seconds, guys. Right? So that means he's going to have this buff continuously. Okay? His tier 1 passive is Cell Mutation, which gives him immunity to paralysis and stun effect, which is similar to Spider-Man, and his leadership seems to be also same as Spider-Man, right? So let's go ahead and quickly check out his skills. Man, at least on paper, even if his skill sets aren't that great, but he is going to be a great support, guys. Trust me, right? So his first skill, iframe, that's good. Except toward the end of the skill, okay, he doesn't really have iframe, but it's a good skill nonetheless. Second skill, hula hoop, hula hoop, hula hoop. I just wonder, even though he's jumping so high, why isn't this particular skill not an iframe, right? Major part, I mean, I'd say 80% of the skill is not iframe, and this is a long ass skill. Right? I wonder what was in Netmarble's mind. The character is jumping around and no iframe. Strange. So third skill is the counter skill. Okay. So even though he didn't get to counter, but he gets the accumulation and whatnot, right? So let's see what happens if he counters. So similar, nothing much. So it seems even without counter he gets everything, right? So he's getting the guaranteed dodge everything. So he doesn't means in order. So that's one of the good thing, right? Because for other counter skill you need to get hit in order for the buff to get activated, but for him you don't need to get hit. Whether he counters or not, he gets all his buffs, right? And let's check out his fourth skill. That's a good iframe. I can say he's a decent character, guys. He's decent, very good. And let's check out his fifth skill, the tank, guys. It's a tank. It's not a helicopter, okay? It's because it's a freaking tank. Okay, boys. Now let's check out the second new character, Michael Morbius. Okay. Alright, boys. So here's our boy, Michael freaking Morbius, right? Wow, he is looking awesome. His wings seems to be a bit small, right? But gorgeous, god dang gorgeous. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Awesome. Alright, so let's check out. Okay, so he's a super villain, eh? Right. And guys, means this one, right, for either for World Boss Ultimate or even for Extreme Alliance Battle. Okay, this is for PvP and PvE. What kind of so he can be a leader, he can be a damage dealer. Basically, he is not a separate type, right? And let's go ahead and quickly check out his gears first. So physical attack crit rate, that's good, decent. Energy defense attack speed, again decent. Ignore defense critical damage, so far so good. And last one is HP and movement speed. I'm a bit disappointed. They should have been either ignore defense or skill cooldown. Alright, anyways, let's go ahead and check out. So so he has paralysis, stun, all defense down up to 70%, mystique level, right? Ignore dodge rate 70%, invincibility for 8 seconds, removes all debuff for 7 seconds, increase damage by 50% for one attack, and some all attack and all defense buff, right? Okay. So his tier 2 passive is increase skill damage and bonus damage by 30 and 35% and decrease all damage received by 30%. Okay, and he is a combat character, guys. Okay, so obviously his defenses are going to be high. And he deals bleed damage, stun, nothing much for the first skill. Second skill again bleed, and he applies all defense up, but only up to 35%. That's fine. And his third skill, okay, is unique. So he entices the character similar to charm, and then based on the amount of damage he deals on the enemy, okay, he out of that damage, suppose if he does 1000 damage, okay, so he recovers 10% of that 1000 damage, right? So 10% of 1000 damage would be 100. So if he deals 1000 damage to the enemy, he heals 100 of his own HP, right? However, the total percentage of HP that he heals cannot exceed more than 7% of his max HP, right? And then it says reactivates 0.3 seconds after activation for 10 seconds. I don't know what does this mean, right? 0.3 seconds, it is like 7 into what? So like in 1 second 3 times, so like 21%. I don't know, this is not clear, so I'm not going to comment about it. But apart from that, he gets a massive boost to his all attack, all defense by 45%. Similarly critical rate by 45%. So if you want to use him with CTP of rate, he's one of the best candidates. And the reason being that, right, he get this burst for 10 seconds, and the cooldown of the skill, if you have max cooldown, it will be only 8 seconds, right? So that's freaking awesome. And now again, bleed damage, incapacitation, paralysis, again one of the meta skill, and it does apply on the world boss and on the frost beast, right? And again over here he gets a massive buff of 40% of all attack. However, this buff lasts for only 8.5 seconds, okay? So for 1.5 seconds he will be without that all attack buff. And for his fifth skill, okay, he gets a massive all defense down of 60%, and he gets 50% chance to penetrate barrier, shield, all damage immune. So he only doesn't get to penetrate invincibility, right? So now let's go ahead and quickly check out his skills, right? He seems to be quite decent, okay, in terms of his skills, especially his third skill, like, awesome guys. I'm really like, it's like a blood steal or life steal kind of ability, right? So let's check his first skill. So I don't really see any iframe on his first skill, so more like a shadowland skill. Second skill looks good, but again it doesn't have iframe. Okay, so you cannot really use this on world boss, okay? Maybe if world boss is doing something in some kind of phase. His third skill, very important, one of the best skill, okay, it gives him all attack, all defense and critical rate buff along with his lifesteal buff, right? And also charms the enemy. Okay, as you can see the heart symbol on top of the enemy. Its fourth skill, that's great. So it's a cinematic skill. I'm not totally sure if it's an iframe or not. Let's check it out. So the enemies are attacking him. No guys, this is not an iframe. What is it? Man. 1 second. Come on. Come on. Over. Oh boy. Okay, now let's switch on the AI. Okay, so the people at the back are shooting me. Come on, shoot. So let's see if they shoot now. Okay, it seems to be an iframe. I'm not 100% sure. So his fifth skill is definitely complete iframe. And wow, look at the number of hit guys. Awesome. Wow. He's going to do bonkers damage. Let's check out his awakened skill. So he comes down from the shadow, Moonlight, and Elsa Bloodstone also joins him. 70% all defense down guys. Okay, so if you use it with in with leadership of someone like Dr. Voodoo, White Fox, or Enchantress with uniform, so it will go up to like 98%, right? So he is also one of those one-shot world boss candidate, right? So that's fantastic. And one more thing we forgot to check regarding him, right? The way to acquire him, how to acquire Morbius. We know that Scarlet Spider is absolutely free. So let's go. So he is available. So he is the paywall character in this particular update, right? However, guys, even he is free, right? Because if you remember, through future pass, either at level 5, 6, whatever, that's up to Netmarble, they will give us 10 to 30 biometrics of Michael Morbius for absolutely free. So hopefully they will continue the trend. So both the new characters in this particular update is actually absolutely free, right? Unless Netmarble stop giving us free biometric through future pass, which I doubt it won't happen, right? So that's really great by Netmarble, right? So both the new characters are absolutely free and both of them are bonkers. Alright guys, so now it's time for the two new uniforms, one for Doctor Strange and the other one for the big bad Dormammu, right? So let's check out Dormammu first. Well, his head, the upper portion of his body looks fantastic, right? But somehow I'm a bit disappointed with his lower half, the way he dresses. He doesn't look like an overlord, he looks more like Indiana Jones to me. However, comparatively his head is much better than his previous uniform. He looks like a devil. Wish they could have given him a cloak look, something like this, instead of making him like Indiana Jones, right? But anyway, that's unimportant. So all these things remain the same. If you want to see, you can just check. So all more or less a meta skill, means meta stats in terms of his gear. So let's go ahead and check out these skill changes, right? So, and before that I'll show you his uniform option in case if you are unaware. So the first uniform option is Crossbone's Secret Empire. Oh my god, that's a pathetic uniform. Second one is Jean Grey X-Men Red. Most of us should have this uniform. Third one is Invisible Woman Future Foundation. It's not a great uniform, to be honest. The fourth one is Cable and Deadpool, which is good. And the last one is Red Guardian. Nah. If you have the Black Widow story mode mission activated, then you may have it. I don't know. His uniform options seems to be okay, so nothing much, but so let's quickly check out his skills. His tier skill has decreased to speed, which is useless, but it has burn, meta skill, fear, stun, silence, again meta skill, and he ignores target dodge rate by 100% for 10 seconds. Wow. Be very careful and Spideys. 80% chance to penetrate everything for 12 seconds. Again, that's a long duration, guys. Okay, he looks like it. His skills, at least on paper, looks like PvP meta, right? Invincibility, wow, 9-15 seconds, and he gets a massive all attack buff of 60% for 15 seconds. Guys, that's a lot. So his tier 2 passive is like 25% chance when attacking, he recovers 20% of his max HP and remove all debuff for next 5 seconds, and the cooldown is only 7 seconds, so that's bonkers. His first skill just deal bleed damage, stun, and basic fire damage. All his skills are fire damage or flame damage, right? Second skill deals burn damage, which will be useful in ABX, and he also reduces fire resistant downs up to 60%. His third skill has bind and paralysis, and it does apply on the world boss and also the ABX base, right? And it gives him an immunity to all damage for 4 seconds. And his fourth skill, which is very interesting again, it ignores the iframe. So again, a very PvP centric skill, guys, at least on papers. And it again reduces fire resistance by 60%. I think ignored all defense down is much better compared to like elemental resistance down, but still whatever it is. And he gets the meta treatment like Silver Surfer, or he reflects 40% of the damage received, 50% of max attack, right? Great. And his fifth skill, let's see, has burn and silence both. Wow, so he does have all defense down. Fantastic, thumbs up, right? So nothing missed in case of the Mao, right? So all defense which stacks up to 50%, 80% chance to penetrate fire immunity effect. Wow. So fire immune characters, you are not safe. And it gives him a massive bump of all attack and all defense by 45%, even crit rate by 45% for 8 seconds with a cooldown of 8 seconds if you have max skill cooldown. So that means he is a perfect candidate of CTPF range in case if you want to use him for PvE, especially for ABX, right? And his tier 1 passive remains the same, which means he revives with 100% of max HP. So this guy has freaking everything: elemental resistance down, all defense down, penetration, silence, paralysis, burn, what's not there in his kit. And his leadership, wow, his leadership has also changed. Okay, it applies to all villain allies. Increase damage dealt to superhero type characters by 60%. Wow. Oh my god. He can be. My god. I have no words, guys. I have no words. So it's more like a support buff, right? But bonkers. It's something really different, right? Anywho, let's go ahead and check out his skills though. Wow, I'm really speechless with his leadership capability, right? Bonkers supportive. He is going to be interesting in PvP, guys. Okay. Alright, so his first skill, pretty similar to his previous first skill. Instead of throwing flames, he is throwing some kind of crystals. Good enough, interesting, right? The second skill is sword slash. So both first skill and second skill doesn't have any iframe, so not really good for world boss ultimate. His third skill has invincibility and he is bringing a freaking planet down, guys. What do you expect? He's the destroyer of the world. His fourth skill starts with an iframe. Boom, and it ignores immunity. Okay, so it's a PvP skill. So I believe the swords which are flying around, it will hit your enemies even if they are inside an iframe. So bye bye. Plus he is going to reflect up to 40% of the damage, right? Oh my god, huge. And his fifth skill, he becomes giant and he burns the world, burn into hell. Wow. And his last skill, his tier 2 skill. What? He literally destroyed the world, guys. He literally destroyed the world. But one thing you have to notice, okay, in his tier 3, okay, the silence effect applies towards the end of the skill. So if you want to use him for ABX, you have to be careful with the timing. You can see silence effect being applied. Okay. Now it applied after so long, after maybe around 3 or 4 seconds, the silent effect applied once you press the tier 3 skills. So I would say if you want to cancel the beast roar, don't use his tier 3 skill, use his other skill like 5th skill. It has instant silence. Okay, so use that. Plus I guess it has burn, so use his other skills to cancel beast roar. Don't use his tier 3 skill, okay, because it has very delayed debuff effect, right? So that's great. So let's go ahead and check out his friend, his arch nemesis, your boy. Alright, so Doctor freaking saying, why did he go back, my friend? Alright, so his tier 3 remains the same. His tier 2 passives and time freeze, it's same. As per text wise, everything looks exactly similar, huh? Well, let's check out his uniform passive. So his uniform passive is increases chain hit damage by 15% and increases skill damage by 15%. Right? And his uniform options are Corvus Glaive, okay, Taskmaster, Quicksilver, Uncanny Avengers, Phoenix 5 Magic, which is absolutely a pathetic uniform, and Magneto's House of X, which is an excellent uniform. Okay. Alright, so what's his previous uniform bonus? Why did I move from that page? Right? Stupid me. It was 10% of max HP recovery when skill Demons of Danak is used and reflect 50% of damage. So did he lose these skills or what? Demons of Danak, Demons of Danak. I guess it was his. Okay, so now instead of having it as a uniform bonus, they have applied it to the skill itself, right? The heal and the reflect. So that's good. That's good. Wow. And other skills, nothing much, including his fifth skill. So everything remains the same. His tier 1 passive is also same. His leadership is same. So let's see if he plays any differently. We have already seen him in the live stream, boys. So in terms of takes like accumulation or all, there is nothing, but the hit numbers could, the number of hits on the skill could make a difference. Okay, I believe we got a damage boost. Oh my god, the fifth skill, awesome. If you have a low end phone, it's going to kill your phone, guys. Okay, alright, let's start with the first skill. First skill, nothing has really changed. Second skill, mirror dimension or crystal, whatever you call it. I don't know if I can see from this angle. Wow, looks great. Third skill, all the needles or sword, whatever you say, hack and slash, boys, hack and slash it. Fourth skill looks pretty much similar to his previous Infinity War uniform. Lots of portal opens up and shoots lasers. His fifth skill is definitely different. Although I wonder whether he can chain his skills or not. So let's see. 3, 2, 4. Wow. So he is able to change the skills, guys. Okay, and all the animations are taking place. Right? See, everything is there. The crystal, the needles, and even the portals. Right. So his skill rotation is very simple. Use the fifth skill whenever available. Use 3, cancel 2, cancel 4, or you can do 4, cancel 3, cancel 2. So whatever you prefer. It's just straightforward and simple. And it seems his tier 3 skill is exactly the same as it was. But I'm sure his damage number must have increased by a hell lot, right? So that's it for this particular video, guys. So these are the 2 new uniforms and the 2 new characters. The characters are absolutely free and both the uniforms are awesome, right? Both the uniforms which will be available when the update goes live. Okay, I'm not talking about the mid-month uniforms because they won't be available. Okay? So that's it for the video, guys. I'll catch you guys soon in another video. Till then, take care and have fun.